If you watched my October Nano Adventure video, you know I took a break after riding through some muddy trails. Well, this is that break. I thought I'd make a quick video of what I take on the front of the bike, on the handlebars. You know, you watch the YouTube videos of the moto campers and the dual sport riders and the guys really going on adventures and all the neat gear they've got on the handlebars. Even though I don't go on grand adventures or ride long distances, I do take some gear on the bike mounted up front. Okay, so what's on the handlebars? First thing's pretty obvious, that's the camera. It's a GoPro 7 Silver. I really like it, you know, after using it and seeing what other people can do and what other people are able to do with their camera system. I definitely should have went for the black. At the time, I think it was $100 more expensive, but the black has the advantage of an external mic over the silver version, and I think it has some better. I think it has better image stabilization. It also does the high-speed frame rate at the larger resolution. The silver has one high-speed frame rate option, and that's it. The camera does a great job, but it would be nice to have the external microphone for sure if I ever get around to getting a helmet mount. So we always take that and we turn it on and we record when we leave the house until we return to the house, and either dump the footage in the trash or keep it if something exciting happened. Phone mount. In the phone mount is a Galaxy S7 Active, and it doesn't even have a phone plan at all. What I do need is what the smartphone is capable of doing, since it runs Android and has a decent, you know, processor in it and a decent amount of memory. I run Avenza. I think that's how it's spelled, Avenza. It's a mapping software, and on it I have the free U.S. Forest Service maps that show the MVUM maps, motor vehicle usage maps. It shows which roads you're allowed to take a motor vehicle on, and it has a key on there to show you which roads are all the way down to no motor vehicles at all, to only motorcycles, to vehicles less than 50 inches, I think it is wide, to all vehicles, so on. It also shows the roads that are open seasonally. So what that means is you might come up to a road and it'll have a gate, and the gate will be closed and locked, and that means it's closed. You can't take your vehicle on it. So that is a big help. It's you know, full GPS mapping software, but you can download the free Forest Service maps to see where you are, and that's how I got past the dead end you saw in the other video. On the map, it showed it was a dead end, and the GPS still followed me along, and it was going not straight, but it was going towards the end of another Forest Service road that we ran into. So we were able to get back on the road. Also on the phone is a program called APRS Droid. We'll touch on that a little bit later. So in addition, I have my ebooks on there for entertainment. I'm not a big music listener when I'm riding. I like music, I just not when I'm riding. So there's a little bit of music on there, but that's downtime music. Mostly I like to read, so it's stocked full of ebooks. Next, or last on the handlebars, is my amateur radio. I've been an amateur radio operator for over 30 years, and there's always something new, exciting, interesting being developed or introduced in the amateur radio, ham radio area. This is the dual band, so it does VHF and UHF. If you're interested in ham radio, you can just Google it. I won't bore you to death what all that means. But one thing I would like to touch on is that the radio has built-in GPS and it has Bluetooth. Well, what does that do for you? Well, it allows me to be tracked or broadcast my position over the APRS network. That's a ham radio thing, and it's similar to low jacking or the inReach beaconing things, other commercial applications. But this is all no fee, no monthly, no subscriptions. It's if you have a amateur radio license, you can um, participate, send and receive over this APRS network. It stands for Automatic Packet Reporting System. Basically, what it means is it's sending out these uh, data packets automatically. And the most often used data, not the only data, but the most often used is a position report. So using that system, my wife can go to a website and see in real time where the bike is. Hopefully I'm on the bike, but where the bike is, she can see on the map where I'm at. And going back to the smartphone and that APRS Droid application, it now becomes a keyboard via Bluetooth to the radio, and I can send and receive text messages through the APRS system, the network, to other APRS enabled ham radio operators. It doesn't stop there, though. There are gateways run by amateur radio operators who have graciously developed and implemented these gateways that allow me or other amateur radio ops to send text messages to cell phones, regular SMS, over that two-way radio. Also, email. You can send very short, very brief, text-only emails to anyone with an email address, just like this cell phone SMS you can. So there are several ways to communicate without a cell phone signal via ham radio. And so that's a piece of gear that is always on the bike for me. I'm sure that's more than you wanted to know about ham radio, but it's an important piece of my motorcycle gear, and I just don't ride without it. It lets me stay in contact without a cell phone, without cell signal, and it's just an important part of my gear. If you want to know more, give me a comment, do a Google on APRS ham radio, and see what's out there. Be happy to help. This is Solo Scout. I'm Oscar Mike.